Welcome back to Calc AB, everybody. Today's topic 2.9, the quotient rule. So, quotient rule, the quotient f over g of two differentiable function f and g is itself differentiable at all values of x for which g of x does not equal 0. Moreover, the derivative of f over g is given by the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all divided by the square of the denominator. So again, this is pretty much another formula. All right, so the way I like to make sure that my students remind this is using so we're going to call f of x, we're going to call that the high function, and then g of x, we're going to call that the low function. All right, so this is for the quotient rule, and then again, just a simple way for you guys to remember. So it's going to be low, so the low function times d high, which is the derivative of the top function, and then minus high d low, so that would be just the high function times the derivative of the low function, and then everything divided by low, or the low function squared. All right, so low d high minus high d low over low. That's pretty much what we're calling it. And again, this is just a simple way for you guys to remember your derivatives. So let's see the first example. Find the derivative of y equals 5x plus 2 over x squared minus 1. So again, we want to set it up so we know the low function, the high function, and then also d low. Actually, I was using two d's now that I remember last time. And d high. So d low is pretty much identifying x squared minus 1, and then the derivative of that using the power rule, that would be just 2x, right? Minus 0, because the derivative of negative 1 is just 0. And then the high function, which is 5x plus 2. And again, in this case, the derivative of that would be just 5, right? It's just the constant itself. Derivative of x is 1 times 5 is 5. And then again, we're going to set it up so y prime equals, so again, so we're going to have low d high minus high d low over the low, right? So low is x squared minus 1, d high is 5, and then minus high, which is 5x plus 2, and then times 2x, which is d low, over low, which is x squared minus 1 quantity squared. And then here, just pretty much simplify as much as you guys can. So when we do that, we're going to get 5x squared minus 1, and then minus 10x plus minus 4, and then everything divided by x squared minus 1 quantity squared. So if you simplify one more time, you're going to get 5x squared minus 10x minus 5 all over x squared minus 1 quantity squared. And that pretty much is your final y prime. And now we're looking at question 2, or example 2, I'm sorry. Find the equation of the tangent line of y equals e to the x over 1 plus x squared at the point 1 comma e over 2. So again, one of the things that you guys have to remember, you have to find the equation of the tangent line. And again, you want to set it up in the point slope form, right? So point slope form, that would be y equals, and that was f prime at a times x minus a, and then plus f of a, right? Or actually, I think it was writing the f of a first. I don't remember. But it's pretty much the same thing, right? So it's just, that would be pretty much your y equals mx plus b, right? So now we need to find, we know what a is. A equals 1, right? It's right there. F of a happens to be e over 2. And then pretty much all I'm missing is f prime at a, which in this case would be f prime at 1. So here to find that, I'm going to have to use again the quotient rule. So low D high. So low, right, high, and then D low right here. We're going to set it up, high D, or D high, I'm sorry. And then we're looking at the low function is 1 plus x squared. Derivative of that would be just 2x. The high function is e to the x, and then of course, derivative of e to the x is just again e to the x. So we want to find y prime, so we're looking at y prime equals, again, low d high, so 1 plus x squared times e to the x, and then plus, actually minus, I'm sorry, minus high d low, which would be e to the x times 2x over 1 plus x squared, quantity squared, the low low. And then here you can just pretty much substitute the value you're looking for, right? And this would be f prime at a, or just f prime of x. So we want to find f prime at 1. We substitute, we're going to get 1 plus 1 times e to the 1 minus e to the 1 times 2, and then divided by 1 plus 1, right, squared. We got a square right there. So simplify this. This is going to give us 2e and then minus 2e all over 4, and that would be pretty much 0. So here we can determine that the slope at that point is 0. All right, so this is equal to 0. So now we're going to go back to this right here. So we're looking at the slope of the line. Let me use a different color. So let's go with orange. So the slope of the line, that would be y equals f prime at a is 0, and then times x minus 1 plus e over 2, which is f of a. So therefore, this would be just e over 2, and that would be the equation of your line, right?